This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Welcome, listeners. I'm your host, Dani, and I'm the first-time reader who's going through this 15-book series chapter by chapter. As always, there are no spoilers past the chapter we are covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host, Brett, who's a longtime fan of the series, and he's acting as my tour guide on this journey. Before we get into things today, we just want to thank and recognize a new producer-level patron. So thank you to Dustin Schluter, who joins the ranks of Joe Lott, Derek Benton, Benjamin, Kyle Smith, Passion Socks, Multude, and Mozyme. Thank you so much for your generosity. We're really excited to have you part of the Patreon team. In this episode, we are covering the last 3 chapters of The Great Hunt.
Yeah.
Chapters 48, 49, and 50.
Yeah, it's the first time we've ever done 3 chapters in one episode.
And we're not going to count the fact that one chapter is not even a full page.
Yeah, like from a narrator perspective, doesn't count. 3, but we're done. Hey, this is the end.
This is it.
We've done 2 whole books.
I know.
That's crazy.
Hooray.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
And we accomplished our goal of sticking to our timeline.
Yeah, done before the end of June.
Excellent. So, although these chapters were quite short, I feel like we have a lot to discuss.
Yeah, and we get to wrap up a lot of your theories,
Yep.
make predictions for next book. So, yeah, we got lots to get into. And I have a really fun fact for today because it did not go at all the way I thought it was going to go. Because sometimes when I do my research for the fun facts,
that's funny.
Yeah, I think that they're going to lead me down one path, and then I got totally blindsided on this one. So I still have to share
Your own research blindsided you?
It did.
Okay, go.
Because this one is about Min, because we start with Min, obviously, in chapter 48.
Yeah.
And I looked up if there were any gods or goddesses with the same name, Min. And there is one in Egyptian mythology.
Okay.
So the god Min is nothing like Min from the books.
Okay.
And it goes down this really bad rabbit trail of not at all being anything like her or resembling her or anything.
Or anything to do with her.
But it's so funny because I just have to read it to you.
Okay.
So Min is often represented in male human form and is shown with an erect penis, which he holds in his left hand, and an upheld right arm holding a flail.
Perfect. Just like Min.
Yeah, just like Min. Exactly. I got a picture for you too.
Oh, you got one for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, right?
It's good.
Well endowed.
Yeah, well, it's like a hieroglyphic.
It is.
It's not like a graphic image, so that's good.
But it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of funny things about it because the god Min actually has similarities to the Greek god Pan, which is a totally different subject. But the funny thing is that Min is the central deity for fertility and possibly orgiastic rites.
Excellent.
Orgiastic meaning orgies.
Orgasms. Oh.
Orgies, yeah.
Orgies. Okay.
So really good. And again, I don't want to spoil the series for you, but
Min is totally a sex symbol. So
maybe.
Here we go.
Maybe that's the thing.
She is presented as a female who prefers pants.
That's true.
Like males in
men.
This series.
Yep. There's that. And then the last and maybe the best part is that one of the features of Min and the ways people would perform rituals is they would use lettuce because lettuce was an aphrodisiac.
Lettuce.
Yes.
Okay.
Lettuce.
Good. So it's safe to say Robert Jordan got his inspiration for Min directly from this god. Yeah.
And during the Min Festival, there was something called the Min Festival, and during the Min Festival, they would play games naked in his honor, and the most important game during this was climbing a huge pole.
Of course it was.
Yep.
Because why not?
So there you go.
There it is.
Yeah. So unfortunately, really got kind of pulled off to the side for what I was hoping would be.
Yeah, I bet you were really expecting that there would be some
because
connection.
usually it works out that way where I can find some sort of similarity to compare it to, and this time I got nothing but this. So
I kind of like that though.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I like that there is not a direct answer for literally everything.
Yeah,
I'm sure there is something,
but it's not this one.
It's not that.
Yep.
So good luck finding it.
So why don't we get into the first chapter, 48, First Claiming, and talk about Min.
Okay, sounds good. Min and Some other stuff, too. Some other stuff like some interesting, correct predictions.
Oh, maybe. I don't know if you want to, like, rub that in now or maybe later.
If I could do that finger snappy thing,
Yeah?
I would be doing the finger snappy thing.
Nice.
But I can't make my finger do it. So the picture is the dragon fang.
Yeah, for
picture.
Rand.
For Rand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's less dark friend evil and now more associated with Rand now that he's proclaimed himself the Dragon Reborn.
Yeah. And I don't know if you, like, do we want to say he's proclaimed himself? He's, like, fought in the sky above Falma.
Oh,
but
man.
is that the same as, like, proclaiming himself? That's a big question. Why don't we come back to it later?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So I just said that because that's what the prophecy is.
Yeah,
proclaim himself above the Watchers, whatever.
Yeah.
But okay, so quick recap. Last time, oh man, so a bunch of crazy shit went down. The women got separated after rescuing Egwene and started like blowing shit up in Falma. Rand and crew escaped with the horn and dagger after killing everyone at Lord Turrek's, including Lord Turek.
Except the servants. They didn't kill the servants. They killed themselves.
That's true.
So there's that.
Yeah. And then Matt went ahead and sounded the freaking Horn of Valir.
Yep.
The heroes all came and pushed the Shanshan back into the sea. Plus Rand proclaimed himself dragon, sort of.
Sort of.
Ish.
He fought Baal-Zimon in the sky.
Floating in the sky or something. And then Baal-Zimon, like, stabbed him, but then he stabbed Baal-Zimon.
Yep.
It was the whole thing. Basically, Rand sacrificed himself, but he also thinks he killed Baal-Zimon.
With the real cool move that Lan taught him at the beginning of the book.
That Ingtar told him was stupid.
Yeah, full circle right there.
Okay. So, we enter this chapter on Min's perspective. Not an Egyptian penis god.
Yep.
But a female character in this book.
I really hope people now refer to Min as an Egyptian penis god.
Yeah.
Goddess.
Okay. So, she's alone right now, which I actually found a little weird.
Yeah.
Because I definitely thought she was with Egwene, but...
We thought that because we had Elaine kind of like nod to Nynaeve that they went that way.
Yeah.
And didn't get like evaporated by the fireball.
Yeah, I assumed that they were together, but I guess they ran
got separated. Yeah.
Okay. So, Min is on the streets of Falma, pushing through the crowds of people just, like, standing around and staring. Like, all of these people from Falma really have no idea what the fuck is going on right now.
Yeah, I mean, they got nowhere to go. The Shanshan, clearly, what we see is they're off on their ships and they're gone.
Yeah.
Like, they left, and you can see the boats in the distance, but all the people who were here beforehand, they're just kind of like, you know?
Well, it's that whole psychological torture thing. They're probably just scared they're going to come back.
Well, yeah.
They're like, are we allowed to just go back to our lives now?
Yeah, what do we do?
What do we do? But she sort of recaps for us what she's seen and been through.
Yeah.
So she saw the Shanshan ships, which is the next best tongue twister. But she saw them sailing west as fast as the Damani could make them go.
Yeah, kind of like that Aes Sedai thing where they make the water do the thing, or the wind do the thing. So
yeah. So turns out that Daman did leave without them, and Min doesn't like hold it against him or anything.
Yeah, it sounds like
she's actually surprised that he stayed for as long as he did.
Yeah, he did hold out, but that is interesting to note that he did bail after like a certain amount of time. So like we saw him in the thick of things.
Probably when he saw Archer Hawkwing riding on horseback across the water.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, maybe
probably that.
So that was Brigitte, from what it sounds like.
Yeah, but Min also said she for sure saw Archer Hawkwing.
Yeah, that's true.
Too.
So like,
I assume they were all
like
just doing the same stuff together.
Yeah, good time to leave probably would be like around then. So, yeah.
Right. Okay. So Min finds this stone house, goes into the back garden, and finds Rand there.
Yeah.
And he's like sprawled out on his back, pale and barely breathing, with his hand clutching the hilt of his sword that has like a melted blade. And I was not expecting this to happen at all. And I actually thought, well, isn't that convenient that she just like knows where he is? Like, what the heck's even happening?
Well, she talks about it. She can feel him pulling her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that.
Well,
we get that after.
Yeah.
But
that also makes sense because Rand can feel strings of his life down in Falma. Yeah. So he got that's a whole Taviran thing.
No. I do. I understand it now.
Okay.
I understand it now. These were my thoughts while I was reading the book. Welcome to our podcast.
But you just don't like it?
No, I'm fine with it.
Okay.
What?
It just sounded like you didn't know what was going on.
When I was reading it, those were the thoughts I had.
Okay.
Because my first thought was maybe it's Min's, like, visions that helped her to, like, find him. Because I really didn't get it right away. Whether it was explicitly stated or not, I see you reading through your book.
It's kind of like hinted at. Like she knew that was where she had to go.
Yeah, no, I got that. But I was like, why though?
Oh, okay.
I'm overthinking everything.
Yeah, totally. 100% you are.
I know.
But that's okay.
I really didn't think we were going to spend this much time talking about...
No, me neither. But let's talk about this sword thing. This is huge.
Yeah, so she takes the sword out of his hand, but the hilt is like stuck to his skin.
Yeah, he's branded himself.
Pries it away, and a heron is branded on his other hand.
So 2 huge things.
Ooh.
One, he's got another heron on his hand.
Yep.
And second, Tam's sword
is done for.
Yeah, destroyed.
Demolished.
It's done.
Done.
So that's kind of sad.
Yeah.
And that was like a power forged sword.
Yeah.
And like a heron marked power forged sword.
And now it's melted.
And now it's melted down basically to the hilt.
Yeah. To nothing.
Yeah.
So that's bad.
Yeah.
But
well, it's not good.
Yeah, he also has a fresh wound in his left side that is cold to the touch.
Yes, and that would be where Beelzebub stabbed him with the staff.
Right, because he's Jesus.
Exactly.
Okay, so she decides to drag him into the house and sets him up in a little bedroom. He is all cold to the touch and, like, barely breathing, and she knows he needs Aes Sedai healing, but, like, he could be dead by the time she goes out to try to find Nynaeve. Like, she actually doesn't know where anyone else is.
Yeah. So this is all like a bad situation.
So she just stays with him. She smooths his hair away and says out loud she likes older men with education, and she has no interest in farm boys or shepherds.
But I think she might.
And then she says, but you aren't a shepherd anymore, are you?
Not really. We do get a note here that she can't read unconscious people.
Ah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, like, you have to be conscious and aware and all that good stuff. So.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So Min hears a sound in the hall, and then Egwene is standing there at the door.
Hold on. We missed the part here.
What part?
So Min gets under the blankets with Rand?
What? No.
Yeah. Did you not read that?
Well, I missed it.
Okay, this is huge.
Okay, because I thought she's, like, sitting next to him and she puts her, like, head on him.
No, okay,
to keep him warm. I thought that was weird, but...
Let's lay the scene here.
Okay.
So Rand is ice cold, near death, and he can't get body heat, so Min gets under the covers with Rand to try to start warming him up.
I did not get that. I read this chapter twice.
Yeah.
And I skipped it twice somehow.
So that's going to change the context probably a little bit for you?
That changes everything. So
yeah.
she's just, this entire scene, she's under the blankets with him?
Yes, for the entire scene.
Whoa.
Including when a certain someone shows up and then disappears after. So yeah, but
okay.
clothes are on.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but she's just tucked in under and rests Rand's head on her.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's
I thought it was weird. I have a point.
She's basically cuddling under the blankets with him.
Yeah, I have a point at one point where she, like, takes his head and, like, presses it against her breast. And I just, like, picture this unconscious Rand. Because I picture her, like, sitting next to the bed.
Yeah.
And, like...
That would be terribly awkward.
Yeah, I pictured... Like, I laughed out loud at that picture. I thought it was so funny.
Less awkward when she's, like, in bed trying to, like, warm him up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, okay.
Okay.
Okay, so then in walks Egwene.
Egwene, and then I'm also confused about how Egwene found them. But then this is more clear in the next sentence here.
Gotcha, okay.
And then it all sort of made sense.
It all clicks, yeah.
So Egwene seems surprised to see Min there with Rand.
Under the blankets.
Because they're under the blankets together. And then she says she felt him pulling him to her. And Elaine felt it too, but Nynaeve didn't.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, okay, this makes sense. Because these are the threads that were pulling him to Falma that I predicted were Elaine, Min, and Egwene.
Yes. So you're right about that.
Cool.
And that's how they found him, because the thread pulling.
Cool. Okay. So, Elaine and Nynaeve are getting the horses, and they found Bella.
Yay!
Excellent.
I
was so concerned they were actually going to leave her behind. Like, I couldn't see a way that this story was going to go on without Bella.
Yeah, they were ready for it, but, didn't have to come to that, so that's good.
It also turns out that the Shanshan left most of their horses behind.
Yeah, they basically got on their ships and got the hell out of there.
They were not ready to be pushed back to Shanshan. So
probably didn't expect, the heroes for the horn.
Nope, definitely not.
And something we didn't talk about was the fact that when Matt blew the horn, it wasn't like in Aladdin when like a genie comes out of the bottle or anything like that. Yeah. Because we had talked originally how you thought it worked.
The horn, heroes like coming out.
Do they come out of the horn?
Yeah.
Or what happens? But they just like come down from a
Cloud Mountain,
and then they're here. So that's good. Good to know for future reference.
Okay. So Egwene asks Min if she knows what Rand is.
Yeah.
And Min must know now. And it's all kind of cryptic.
It is a little bit. When you put it in the context of, like, the relationship between Min and Egwene, like, they're obviously friends, but Egwene is, like, the old lover of Rand, who's not anymore. Min's the new lover.
Well,
kind of, sort of, because Rand doesn't know that.
Makes so much more sense with Min under the covers here.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was weird that Egwene is like, he can't marry. Like, I just thought maybe she was just picking up the vibes of Min caring for Rand.
Gotcha, yeah.
And I thought she was being a little jelly.
So she's being super jelly.
But only because she's, like, in bed with him.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Even though she's, like, protecting him, warming him up.
Yeah, so she goes, he can't marry. He's not safe for any of us. And Min says, speak for yourself, bitch.
Yeah.
And then she pulls his unconscious head towards her and holds it against her breast. Not her chest.
Yes.
Her breast.
Yeah. It's like right up in there.
She says, you tossed him aside. What do you care if I pick him up?
So that's a pretty powerful statement there, though.
Yeah.
Like, Min's definitely fighting for, being with Rand. But it's also kind of weird. Like, I've always read this in such a weird way where Egwene is so adamant that if she doesn't feel comfortable marrying Rand because he's a male channeler,
no one else should.
Then no one else should or can. Like, he's off the table. No one can marry him.
Yeah.
And then she gets a lot of pushback from a lot of people multiple times about this. Mm-hmm. But she still has it in her head that it's like, he's not safe. Stay away from him.
Right.
So it's just like a very unusual thing for me to like understand.
That's because you're a man.
Yeah, I don't get it. Maybe
your man brain. Maybe your Brett brain.
Maybe. But what's your take? Like, do you think that she's right, that everyone should stay away from her?
I don't think she's right, but I think that she thinks she's right.
Yeah, well, I know she thinks she's right.
Yeah, it all makes sense to her.
Yeah.
And in her mind, she's promised to Rand, and she hasn't tossed anyone aside. She's made a logical safety decision, and everyone needs to listen to her.
Okay.
And maybe they just haven't quite accepted, or maybe they don't quite know as much as she knows.
Because she knows more about what Rand is.
And once they know as much as she knows, then they'll all understand that no one can marry him.
And then no one wants to be with Rand.
No one wants to be with Rand. Egwene is wrong.
Ooh,
but,
okay.
I mean, just because she keeps on saying you can't marry him, but it's like, you know a lot of stuff when you're not married there. Two Rivers Egwene.
Yeah.
Little sheltered.
a little bit.
Girl of the women's circle. Like, yeah. But anyway, Egwene just stares at her and then finally just like leaves to go get Nynaeve.
A lot more context when Min's under the covers.
Yes, definitely.
And that's why Min's
and holding his unconscious head to her breast.
Well, that's kind of why Min's like feeling embarrassed, but then she's like, I shouldn't feel embarrassed because I'm not like doing anything inappropriate. Right. So but yeah. So that was an awesome interaction. I love that scene.
Min talks to herself now about how they're all caught up in this pattern, and how would Egwene feel if she told her there's another woman yet to come who they haven't met yet?
Wow.
Ooh.
Okay. So who are the two, you think, just for...
Elaine and Min.
Okay, Elaine and Min, and then someone else. Someone new.
Yeah, so it won't be Egwene.
Okay.
Like I thought.
Yeah.
Right?
Doesn't sound that way.
No, because Min said, in the eye of the world, they're not for each other.
She did.
So...
That was pretty explicit.
Yes, it was.
Like right from the get-go.
Yeah. So Min says that she isn't sure if Rand will even choose her or if he will try to dandle all three of them.
Yeah.
And I just said, yeah, he will. Yeah, he's going to dandle you.
So how is this relationship going to work? Like,
no
this
idea,
is...
but I can't stand this writing. I'm gonna dandle you on my knee. Like, are you joking?
Well,
with
it's
that?
not supposed to be a good term.
It's
Like, she's not...
super
she wouldn't be...
sexual.
It is, but it's, like,
I
not
don't
supposed
think
to be
she's
an
meaning
endearing
it like
term.
that. I think that the way it's meant is, you know, when you like bounce a kid on your knee.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and she's like, oh, are you gonna try to juggle all three of us at once?
Yeah, like, it doesn't
But,
seem like
like,
it's a good thing or that Min's happy about
Yeah.
this, but if it is Elaine and Min, like, they are also friends. So how is that relationship going to play out
For
with
now.
Rand? So for now,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
It already sounds like there's a little bit of contention.
Yeah,
there.
maybe, possibly.
So at the end of this little monologue, she calls him Rand al'Thor.
Yep.
And then a musical voice from the door says, not Rand al'Thor, Luz Theron, the Dragon Reborn.
Did your little alert
And
warning
I went,
system go
oh
off?
fuck, just when I let my guard down.
Oh, no.
I summoned her here.
You did.
I keep
You had to have.
summoning these people here because last chapter I was such on high alert with the whole Beelzebub stuff.
Yep, and your guard goes down and boom.
There she is.
There she is.
Showing up. So Min is startled to see the most beautiful woman she has ever seen. Black hair, white dress. Remind you of anybody?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Good time for Celine to show up.
Uh-huh, Celine.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hey, here's a question. Do you think that Celine might be the third?
No.
No? Just like flat out not even gonna consider it?
No.
I don't
She's
know.
a
Maybe.
Flippin' Forsaken.
So?
No.
Okay. Well,
Nope.
I just need
I
you to
think
I
that
need you to
she's
consider
certainly going to
things.
try.
Yeah.
I think she's going to be a wrench in a lot of things that are happening, but I do not think that Rand is going to marry a Forsaken, if that's what you're asking me right now.
Well, kind of, sort of asking, but you know.
No.
I need you to consider alternate ideas.
So Min says, who are you? And Celine goes over to Rand and says, he doesn't believe yet. I have guided his steps, pushed him, pulled him, enticed him. He was always stubborn, but this time I have him. Ishmael thinks he controls events, but I do.
Okay, so we gotta pause and we gotta dissect this a little
down.
bit here. So,
Oh, but also she draws a dragon's fang on Rand's forehead with her finger.
and that's when he stirs.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like a little hint because we get reference to it next chapter.
Yeah.
That this is where she like does something to heal him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he stirs. But yeah, let's break this down.
Oh!
You
I
didn't catch
pick
that?
up.
Yeah, I'll kind of come back to it after. But
that makes total sense. Thank you for making that make sense for me.
that's,
Okay.
Yeah, why he literally didn't die right
Okay.
now. So.
Okay.
So first off, with Celine saying Rand doesn't believe, like he knows, but he doesn't believe.
Yet.
Yeah, so like that's kind of the whole question of like denial. He's in that stage of it right now, but hopefully he moves past it. But maybe we don't really know, right?
Well, last chapter he like sprang out of his denial like nobody's business.
Real fast when like things are on the line.
Here's my dragon banner,
I got it
Archer
with
Hawkwing.
me. Yeah.
Right?
So and we kind of get that into his head a little bit later on. But the one big thing I want to talk about here is Ishmael.
Uh-huh.
So we've heard this name a couple times before.
Associated with the Dark One, right?
Kind of, sort of. I brought up a couple references that you might be interested in.
Okay.
Because she says that Ishmael thinks he controls events, but I do. So, one of the first references we get is in chapter 42 of Eye of the World, and that is that Ishmael is the betrayer of hope. Because during a Moraine info dump, she said none of the Forsaken had a tenth of the strength of their master, not Agnor or Lanfear, not Balthamel or Demandred, not even Ishmael, the betrayer of hope himself.
Ooh.
Yes, because we also got reference to...
I actually do, and then that's when I sort of connected Beelzebub with that.
Yeah, because
Beelzebub is the betrayer of hope, right? Father of lies.
Is the father of lies.
But Elon
Morin Tedronai in the prologue is the
betrayer.
betrayer of hope. So Elon from the prologue is Ishmael, the betrayer of hope. And then we've also got that whole dynamic
we
with...
have a connection where it really seems like Beelzebub is that guy from the prologue.
Yes, it does seem that way. And then in chapter 50, Agnor, when he's monologuing during that Eye of the World battle...
Yeah.
Agnor says, some of us are bound no longer. Like Ishmael, we walk the world again, and soon the rest of us will come.
Aha!
Implying that Ishmael has been walking the world, doing a bunch of stuff, getting up to, trouble. And then in chapter 52 of Eye of the World, after the battle at the Eye, Moraine says, in the Age of Legends, Agenor was close behind the Kinslayer and Ishamael in power.
Gotcha.
So those are like the two most powerful people besides Agenor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you probably can't confirm.
Yeah.
But it kind of sounds like we're wrapping up Baal-Zaman, Ishamael, the Betrayer of Hope, and Elon in a little neat little one-man package.
Yeah. And I have one more thing for you.
Okay.
Do you want to say it's time for glossary definitions with Brett?
Sure. It's time for glossary definitions with Brett.
So, Ishamael. In the Old Tongue, Betrayer of Hope, one of the Forsaken, name given to the leader of the Aes Sedai who went over to the Dark One in the War of the Shadow.
The OG Dark Friend.
Yeah, the OG. And it is said that even he forgot his true name.
Ah.
Yeah, so he might be going a little crazy.
Well, if he's been just alive for thousands and thousands of years.
Yeah, who knows? Mm-hmm. So that's kind of the big question, and, you know, like I said, we can't really confirm or deny stuff.
That's an interesting tidbit. Like, you're putting all these puzzle pieces together.
Yeah.
Which is really, really interesting.
Well, we've heard Ishamael so many times now, and it's just a question of, is Ishamael actually the same person as Elon, as the Betrayer of Hope, as is Baal-Zaman that one person?
Well, it probably makes sense as to why he doesn't really have, like, eyes or a mouth.
Sure.
You know, because, like, when we saw, like, Agenor and Balthamel, they were, like, kind of weird and gross looking.
Kind of like torn apart from time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that also would make sense why we've had it so many times that it doesn't seem like Baal-Zaman is literally the Dark One. It seems like it's a person who's, you know, acting as the hand of or is like the main bad guy. So, because Rand keeps going on this whole thing where it's like, I killed the Dark One, and Maureen's like, no, you didn't.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So. But, okay.
Yeah, so just tuck all that stuff away. Yeah. And we can talk about it next book.
Ooh!
Yeah.
Okay. So, she draws a dragon's fang on Rand's forehead, and I guess he stirs.
Yes.
And this is essentially some healing.
A little bit of healing so he doesn't die.
Okay. So, Min is like, who the fuck are you? Like, what are you talking about? What is going on? And the woman says, I am called Lanfear, bitch!
Wow! Okay.
What?
So...
Ow! I am so right, and I didn't doubt myself for even 1 second. That's
probably maybe a couple
seconds.
That's not
true. I doubted slightly at the beginning, but only because it was so outrageous.
Yeah. Well, this one was so funny because you literally called out Celine being Lanfear like
the second we met her.
The second we met her.
Yeah.
And that was just like the worst thing in the world for you to put all those pieces together, because I had to go like half of a book trying to be like,
more than
maybe
half,
it's not. Yeah, I know. Maybe it's not Lanfear. What are some other options?
And then you started going ahead and calling her Lanfear. And then I was like, oh, is she not Lanfear? Like, why are you agreeing with me?
Yeah, that was pretty good, right?
It wasn't that good.
It's so hard, though. But it kind of puts like everything we know about who Celine is into a huge different context.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Not for you,
because
a little
I've
bit.
gone through this entire book knowing she's Lanfear.
You do, but it's like also looking back now.
Anytime anything she did or said or did or showed up anywhere or did or said, I was skeptical about, and I was like, okay, this girl, there's something wrong with her.
But it's like, now we're talking about Lanfear, the Forsaken, who's like the ex-girlfriend, kind of, sort of LTT, who is clearly back here, and she wants him back. And it also puts like the prophecies that Varen found on the walls into a different context.
Yeah, well, not really.
But it's like, she is out, because Varen had said, you know, it's either she's out or
she's out and
someone
searching
wants us
for
to
her
think.
new lover. And I said, that's her, and she's searching for Rand.
Yeah.
Yep.
Makes sense why she doesn't really like Aes Sedai very much.
No, she hates him.
Yeah.
And how she just knows how to use portal stones and everything. Like, literally everything
Maybe that book
together.
wasn't even a real book. Maybe she didn't even have a copy of that book.
I don't think she has a copy any longer.
She probably did, though, at the time.
Probably did at the time.
Yeah.
Because it is a book that existed.
It is, yeah.
In the world at some point. It wasn't just like, mirrors of portal stones.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah. But no.
Yeah. So that's pretty huge.
I'm proud of myself on this one.
That was a good one.
This is like my favorite win so far.
So how do you feel?
The Tom death not being death.
Yep.
That's a good win for me. And
that was good.
This is my favorite win.
This is a good one. Yeah. No, this definitely was good. So how do you feel about Lanfear being out, romping around, trying to win Rand.
Yeah.
That's why the whole...
same way I felt about her this entire book. I just need her to go away.
Yeah. Kind of makes sense, like everything. And it's kind of funny. This is why you want to go back and reread this book again now. So, Yeah,
I feel like I had an advantage.
You did.
With my prediction, because everything she did I was skeptical of.
You assumed it was for...
And I assumed.
Yeah. Good thing Rand didn't let her have the horn, probably, then.
Probably... That's good, except they would have shown up and only responded to him anyway.
Yeah.
And it's not like she was very actually that good at pulling his strings.
Well, and if she legitimately wanted it, she probably could have gotten it.
100% she could have.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also, that's totally how Beelzebub knew about the banner.
Yeah.
She totally went through his bags.
Totally didn't catch her in time, so...
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good, okay.
Okay.
And then let's end with what she says to Min.
She says that Lews Therin was and is hers. Tend him well for me until I come for him.
Yeah.
And then she disappears.
Yes, right in front of her eyes, just gone. So
that's that whole thing I talked about.
The whole thing.
All of it.
Yeah.
So here's the thing about Forsaken all being ugly and torn apart by time.
Yeah, she is not.
She reminds me of that old witch from Tangled.
Oh, yeah.
Who has the... Well, at first she had the magic flower to sing to and to keep her young and beautiful.
Yeah.
And then she had to steal the baby.
Yep.
To brush her hair.
Yeah, exactly.
And never cut it so that she could be young and beautiful. So, Lanfear has a child locked in a tower.
Yep.
And she brushes and sings to her hair.
To make her young again.
To make her young
Steal
and
the
beautiful.
youth from the girl. So, okay.
Yeah. No, magic.
Magic, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that theory.
Yeah. So we actually get a scene change this chapter before the end.
Yeah, just a short little one, but important.
Byre.
Yeah.
Child Byre. So he saw what needed to be seen, and now he is riding away. The entire legion is dead, and it's Perrin from the Two Rivers' fault.
Yeah. So this is pretty bad.
The only explanation is that dark friends betrayed them.
And it's how? Okay.
Yeah, no.
What are you talking about,
nope.
Byre? But now we have an overzealous Byre who's going to go and tell Dane Bornhald, who is also a little bit overzealous. That it's Perrin from the Two Rivers' fault.
Yeah.
That his dad's dead.
Yeah. Excellent.
Maybe we should stop telling everyone where we're from.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's even worse news to tell Pedronile.
Yeah, and that's that whole message.
And so, the whole message, but then he also said he has to tell him what he saw in the sky above Falma.
Yes.
And at this point in reading,
yeah.
I thought, something to do with those flying creatures they kept mentioning.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, what did he see? He saw the Drakkar, and that's true and real now. He saw the shadow spawn, and he has to go report about that. Or the Shanshan having flying monsters or something like that. Because he's leaving before he saw the Shanshan get pushed back, I think, anyway. At this point.
Yeah, well, it does certainly seem somewhere like he left before everything was settled down.
Obviously, after this next chapter...
We figure out what he actually saw.
And what everyone else in the entire country saw.
Yeah, which is way worse than just seeing a couple flying monsters.
It is way worse!
Oh, man!
Oh, okay.
It's just the dragon fighting Beelzebub in the sky. What? Okay. With the dragon banner flying behind him in the breeze. Oh, jeez.
Okay.
Did I mention that both of their faces are clearly identifiable?
In the sky?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So...
This is bad.
Chapter 49.
Okay. Let's keep moving.
What was meant to be.
Yes.
And it's the picture of the wheel and the infinity snake.
Yes. To wrap up nicely.
Yeah, so we enter with Rand, and so that's good. He's not dead or still unconscious for the end of the book. So he opens his eyes and tries to figure out where he is. He's super confused. His memories are all fragmented. And he sees Min, which makes him even more confused.
Yeah, well, do you remember the last time you saw Min?
In Baerlon.
Yeah, long time ago with zero context. And when he left her, he was running away because she was like, I'm going to get you.
Yeah, and he's like, woo!
Girls.
Yeah. So his memory is all broken in pieces, and she says that they are 5 days east of Falma, And then he starts to remember more stuff.
And he's been out the entire time.
And so he asks if they freed Egwene. And Min's like, who is they? We freed her ourselves.
Yeah, there's like definitely two reasons she's not happy right now about all this Egwene talk.
Yeah.
So it's like because she did all the freeing, and then secondly because it's the
Rand
whole
has questions about Egwene.
Yeah, and not like her.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but why, Min, would Rand have any questions about you? Like, he doesn't even really know who you are.
It's a very one-sided relationship at this point.
Very.
I mean, Min's had all this time in the tower to talk, like, literally,
They've been
like,
talking
months.
Yeah.
With Egwene and Elaine.
They've been talking about Rand a lot. There's been a lot of Rand talk.
A lot of Rand talk.
Yeah.
And Rand has just been off in his Portal Stone worlds doing who knows what.
Not Celine.
Well, maybe.
No. Okay. So he's like, who's we? And she's like, me, Elaine, and Nynaeve. And Rand's like, what? How? What? What the fuck is going on?
And we're back to our traditional Rand doesn't know what's going on. Yeah.
Because you were all in Falma? How?
Yeah.
And then we get an update that Egwene, Elaine, Nynaeve, Varen, Hurin, and Matt are all headed back to the White Tower already.
Yeah.
And Rand is disappointed that Egwene didn't wait for him to wake up, and Min sits back, feeling a little jelly.
A little bit.
And then Rand raises his hands to rub them on his face and sees the second heron.
Oh, no.
And he thinks about that prophecy.
Yep.
Once the heron to set his path, twice the heron to name him true.
Yeah, now we got that from Tom way back in the day.
Yes. And that was the first time that we had connected the heron with the dragon reborn.
Yeah. Do you want me to read it quick?
Yeah, sure.
So, twice and twice shall he be marked, twice to live and twice to die. Once the heron to set his path, twice the heron to name him true. Once the dragon for remembrance lost, twice the dragon for the price he must pay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So, none of that makes sense, except for now we get some heron stuff.
Yeah, so he's named true. So, I mean, that's pretty big that he is now, in fact, for sure, the dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he says, no! And Min says, well, they're gone already. Saying no won't change it.
Yeah, she's definitely a little bit touchy here, so.
And Rand thinks that the pain in his side is important, but he can't remember why.
It's because he got stabbed.
Yeah, by Beelzemon.
Yeah. With
in
his, like,
the sky.
Staff spear thing.
Yeah. So Min tells him that Varen tried healing him, but it didn't work. And Moraine says that Nynaeve must have done something because Rand shouldn't have lived this long.
Yeah.
And Nynaeve said that she was too frightened to actually use the power and actually heal him properly or something like that, right? And I just thought, well, maybe Nynaeve is just that good that even when she thinks she doesn't do any healing, she is.
Yeah,
healing.
But like way more likely is that she didn't, and then Lanfear did something when she did the dragon's fang on his forehead.
Yeah, I find it interesting that, once again, no one is feeling the need, Min, to tell anyone else, Moraine, that Lanfear is walking around and saying that she, like, owns Rand.
Yeah, well, maybe she did, but, like, secretly, but who knows?
No way.
You don't think Min mentioned at all about this whole Lanfear business?
Nothing. Because, you know why?
Yeah, why?
We get in a little bit that Min doesn't like Moraine anymore or something like that.
Yeah, there's definitely some, like, animosity or something.
Okay, when we get to it, I've skimmed my notes, but when we get to it,
we'll talk
I'll
about
mention it.
Okay,
yeah.
Let's talk about this whole wound in Rand's
because
side
right
now.
Because there's something wrong with this wound, and it will just have to heal naturally now.
Yeah, and this is kind of like one of those, put a little star beside it, because we've gotten a couple times where it's really difficult to heal stuff. We've got it where, like, Moraine had a tough time healing Tam because he got stabbed with the Murdral blade.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like she had to, like, do her best, and then he had a long recovery time. And then we've got Matt, obviously.
And she needed the Angreal.
Yeah, and we've got Matt with the dagger, and we had the trio try to heal Matt with, like, in Faldara, but it didn't work. So now we have Rand with this, like, wound in his side, and maybe it's going to take more than just, Varen trying to heal him to, fix him.
Yep.
But they're like, maybe it'll heal naturally, so do it that way.
Right. And then Rand goes, wait, Moraine?
Yeah.
I thought I was free of those blasted Aes Sedai.
And he's
And
just being a
Moiraine
little butthole right
says,
now,
"Nope,
so.
here I am."
Yay.
And then this is where Rand notes that Min is frowning at Moiraine, and he gets the feeling that she means to protect him from this Aes Sedai.
Yes. So kind of weird.
Yeah, it's interesting because I've never really doubted Moiraine before. I've always been on Team Moiraine. I've always been, she's gonna do what's best for the world.
Okay.
You know, and I've really, really liked her and never doubted her intentions.
And now you are?
A little bit.
Why? Because Min?
Yeah, because Min must see something.
Oh, so she sees some sort of...
She sees something. Like,
vision
she
something.
sees some sort of vision with Moiraine.
Yeah.
That...
is saying, like,
she
danger, danger.
She feels the need to protect Rand from her.
Oh. So a lot more than just, like, intuition. It's like Min's viewing something on Moiraine that's saying, don't let her near Rand.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is hard for me, because I really, really like Moiraine, and I've started doubting her now.
Well, we do already know that Moiraine will do whatever she thinks she has to.
Yes.
And she did tell Rand something a long, long time ago, that if you ever think about, like, turning to the dark side, I'll destroy you before you get that chance.
Yeah.
She has literally threatened the boys before.
Right. So...
yeah.
Although I probably don't suspect her of being Black Aja...
Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa! Okay, hold on. What?
I feel like she wouldn't... Although...
You can't just throw those words around.
Although if Leandrin was lying, maybe Black Aja can just, like, lie.
You're being pretty flippant without saying anything here.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
Okay, getting back to the chapter.
You can't just... what are you saying?
I have a note later.
Okay.
I'll get back to it.
You keep saying that.
I get back to it.
It's hard for my heart, you know?
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That makes me think that it's okay.
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Rand is super sassy here.
Yeah, like way too sassy.
Yeah.
Like teenage boy, angsty.
Oh, so angsty.
Yeah.
He tells Moiraine that he wishes she wasn't here and she can go fuck off for all he cares.
Yeah. I don't even want you here anymore anyways.
Yeah. Turns out she was here trying to rescue her sisters from the Shanchen.
Yeah.
But failed.
That's kind of sad because now the two eyes... You have a weird look. What are you thinking?
I just think that she's leaving some parts of her story of
Did
why
she, like,
she's
sacrifice
here
the two
out.
Aes Sedai?
No.
Eat their hearts?
No,
like, what are you talking about?
No. I think that she did probably discover it, and she probably tried to rescue them. I think she's leaving some stuff about why she was actually there out of her story.
Okay, that's probably fair.
Yeah, okay.
She's never been one to, like, overshare information.
No,
so.
Not even to us when we're inside her head.
Yep. She's very protected and guarded.
Yes. So we also learn that Varen went to find Rand on her own and not because Moiraine wanted her to.
Yeah. Do you remember what Varen said when she showed up?
No.
So
why would I remember that?
Well, because it's kind of important. Because when she shows up, and that's right when, like, Rand, Loyal, and Hurin disappeared.
Yes.
And then Matt had that little, like, oh, maybe it's Rand. But it's not, it's Varen. She rides up and says... Moiraine Sedai sent me, Lord Ingtar. She thought you might need me. Such a gallop I've had. I thought I might not catch you short of Kyrian.
Someone's lying.
Someone's lying. Possibly. Because here, Moiraine explicitly states...
And she frowns. And she's like, I didn't send her. I wonder if... like,
she did that on her own.
Or if Swan said to Varen, Moiraine wants you to go.
Because you know that there's a trio there.
And then, and then Varen thinks, because if she thinks it's true, she can say it's
That's
true.
very true, yeah.
So maybe it came from, or somebody wrote a letter.
It's like a game of telephone here between the three, Swan, Moiraine, and Varen.
But then Swan can't lie.
Or can she?
I don't know. Oh my god.
Okay, maybe they're all three masquerading as Lanfear.
Heart.
What?
They're all Black Aja. Every one of them.
Okay.
I don't even know what's happening anymore.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Or maybe the whole, like I said, I can't.
Take it.
Yeah. The whole can't lie thing isn't even a thing. Who knows?
Oh my god. I like these set of rules, and I don't like when they're all messy because they are all messed up.
Yeah. I think you have some thinking to do.
I hate that you told me that so much.
Oh, I know you do, but I had to bring it back. You want to know something?
Okay, I gotta think about that one.
This was one of the, like, bombshells when the books first were originally released.
Yeah.
Like, before the other books. Like, this was speculation galore of what is going on.
Well, yeah, because what is going on?
Yeah.
It's clear from Moraine's facial expressions here that she didn't send Varen, I think.
Okay.
Which means that either Varen was misled...
Yeah.
Possibly by Leandrin.
Possible.
But, like, why would Leandrin want Varen to go keep an eye on Rand? Oh,
yeah.
God damn it. I have no freaking clue. I gotta think about this one a little more.
Okay. Tuck that away.
Yeah.
Think about it. Keep it in the back of your mind with all those other things.
I think that Moraine isn't, like, an actress. I don't think that she would, like, feign a frown and be like, I didn't send Varen.
You don't think that?
No.
Okay.
I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is great. I love this.
I hate this.
I love that you have no clue.
This is so annoying to me. I hate having no clue.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. Moving on. So, Moraine wants to know if Rand found Fane, and he shakes his head and asks if he went with the Shanchan.
Yeah.
And she says that she doesn't know.
I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that Fane went with the Shanchan?
Yeah. Oh,
like,
no,
on a
because Turk's
ship?
dead.
Yeah, Turk's for sure dead.
I don't know. I think the whole reason that he was still hanging around there was to eventually get to that Empress. Like, we saw in his head that he wants, like, and we get in a minute here that he is more than part Mordeath.
Yeah.
Who just wants to infiltrate
the high-ranking.
And so maybe if he gets back on the ship, like, Turk just died, and he'd probably worked his way up.
Definitely. Okay, so, like, you think he's on the ship going back to, like, cause some havoc in Shanchan? We also don't know if the ships are actually going back to Shanchan, because that's, like...
Or if they're just, like,
retreating and then coming back.
Because we actually don't know what's over there.
We don't know. We know it's probably pretty far.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a hop, skip, and a jump. It's like...
Yeah, like, they have these huge vessels for, like...
Yeah, like, big ocean travel, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he did go over there.
Yeah.
But
the alternative would be like him just leaving
away.
Falma and running somewhere else.
Which makes sense. That's a total Fade move.
Kind of, yeah.
But if he saw the opportunity,
yeah,
I could see him taking it.
Okay.
But I can't say definitively because it might be really bad for him if he goes and he, like, doesn't have the horn and he doesn't really have anything.
Yeah, he's got his servant, but, like, that's it. So.
Yeah, and who knows?
Okay. All right.
So Moraine says that it's best Rand doesn't see Fane until he knows what he is. More than a dark friend.
Yeah.
Also more death. And so we get this confirmation that has been canon in my head since literally the beginning of this book.
Yes. This is more like confirmation for that Rand now is, like, fully aware of what Fane is.
Yeah. Well, I asked this question just in my notes, like, are we getting this confirmation to the reader who didn't pick up on it in, like, chapter 7? Is this a confirmation for us? Or is this, like, strictly we get it, but Rand doesn't?
Yeah, it's a little bit of confirmation for us, but I think more so for, like, Moraine telling Rand, because we don't know how much information actually got passed and how much he retained.
Yeah, he didn't retain anything, apparently.
Yeah, that's one of the things in this series is that characters don't always retain information as well as you would think they would, or that you hope they would. We do get one kind of sort of new piece of information where she says if Rand did survive a meeting with Fane, he might have been worse than turned to the shadow.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. He's going to eat your soul or something like that.
Well, and that's her opinion.
Yeah, that is from what she, like, knows. So, Fane bad, stay away.
Yeah, but also I don't know if Moraine actually knows to the extent at which Rand has grown this book.
That's true.
She hasn't been around.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. So, Moraine shows Rand his melty sword.
Yeah.
And all of these memories come back to him. And he says, I killed him this time. And I just said,
oh, no.
No, Rand.
Do you remember what you said the other chapter?
I said, is this another situation where we're going to end a book where Rand thinks he killed the Dark One because he stabbed Beelzebub?
Yes. You said that, and you're right.
Yeah.
He thinks he killed the Dark One again. You know, this is also very sad, though, because this sword has been, like, a huge, like, line connector from Tam to Rand.
Yeah.
And now it's just, like, melted and destroyed.
Right.
So, it's kind of sad for Rand.
Yeah. So Moraine says the Dark One is not slain so easily, but he should not have been able to appear in the sky above Falma if he is bound like they believe. Okay, so that's probably bad. Like, their battle took place in the sky above Falma for everyone to see, like a freaking widescreen TV.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny because when we were talking during the blowing of the Horn of Valir and then during the fight sequence, I was kind of like, it's kind of like above Falma, but also like it's in a different plane.
Although it is, though, because Perrin skips off to the forest to get a tree.
So it's a very weird situation, but it turns out wherever they were,
battle happened,
it was like projected above, like in the sky.
Yeah, because no one saw all the heroes come in the sky.
Yeah,
right.
Because that was like a time stop.
It was
moment.
Like they were riding off, and then Rand got transported to the sky.
Projector screen.
Yeah.
Boom.
With Baal-Zamon.
This makes sense about that prophecy, so he's gonna,
I wonder if Baal-Zamon knew that everyone could see them.
Well, he's quite a dramatic kind of guy.
Yeah.
From what we've seen. He has a flair for that. So, yeah.
I don't know what he thought would happen, though. Like, what did he want people to see? If he wanted people to see it, you know?
Well, he was trying to win Rand over to the dark side still, so maybe that.
He thought
right?
he was, although he's never been even remotely successful, so...
He's trying really hard, though.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta give him that, so he does try.
Okay, but Min is like, yeah, we all saw it. And then Moraine shows him a street artist sketch of the whole scene.
Yeah. This is great.
This is so bad. I just picture, like, you know when you go to, like, festivals or marketplaces or whatever, and then there's like those caricaturists who like quickly draw you as you're like walking by and then like
try to push it into your hands.
Yeah. And you're like
Rand and Baal-Zamon in a battle as caricatures.
Yes.
That's great.
That's the fan art I want to see.
Yeah.
With like the big forehead and the oversized nose. And
You know, I love that. Okay.
Yeah. That's what I want.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So this is a thing that everyone's drawing.
Yeah.
There's hundreds or thousands of them already distributed, and this is a big deal.
Yes. So Moraine says that the pattern weaves itself around Rand even more tightly, and he needs Moraine now more than ever. Like, she definitely believes that. And then Rand is, like, back to denial mode. Like, I knew that whole acceptance thing would be short-lived.
Yeah.
And he's
still got growing to do, so.
He thinks about Arthur Hawkwing calling him Luz Theron, but then he tells Moraine, I don't need you, you're not my real mom.
And he does do a little bit of growing here because he says, I will not be the dragon. And previously he's been telling her, I will not be your false dragon.
Yeah.
Now he's saying, I won't be the dragon. So like a little bit of development, but...
Yes, because he goes, the dragon is supposed to tear up the world again. I will not be the dragon. And she just goes, you are what you are. The whole world is stirring. The Black Aja has revealed itself for the first time in 2,000 years.
Yeah, is she talking about the whole Drakkar thing?
Maybe.
Or something different?
Well, obviously, I think that she spoke to Nynaeve and Egwene and Elaine and...
About the whole Liandrin business?
I'm sure. They're like, she's probably like, what are you guys doing here? If she didn't already know, because she's Moraine.
Yeah.
But...
So here's the thing.
Because I wrote, go Liandrin making history.
But, hey, good for her.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of funny because Liandrin, after she dropped off the girls, assumed they were going to be captives and out of the picture, and then she's going back, presumably...
To the White Tower.
To Tar Valon.
Yeah.
And now we have the girls who are not in captivity.
Yes.
Oh.
And not going over to Shanshan.
And not going over the Shanshan and not in control.
Yeah.
And we have Moraine here who hopefully talked them, and they ratted out Liandrin.
Of course, yeah.
Probably, we can hope.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So...
Cool.
Liandrin might be in a little bit of trouble.
Good.
Yeah.
She deserves it. So, Moraine also tells him that Kyrian is in civil war. And he's like, I didn't do it.
That wasn't me.
And she's like, doing nothing is always a ploy in the great game.
And she would know because she's Kyrianan.
Yeah. And he was the spark that made Kyrian explode like an illuminator's firework.
Which is hilarious.
And I just thought that's such a good reference because there's no way she could know that he was the cause of a bunch of freaking illuminators, fireworks blowing up their house.
Yeah.
Or whatever happened.
That's true.
But unless she does somehow.
Poor Tammuz and Eludra. They were the ones who were...
Oh, yeah. I did not remember that.
You don't remember Tammuz?
I would not do as well in trivia with this book because I did way more skimming.
Oh, yeah.
And didn't pay attention to as many stupid names.
I just love that whole interaction way back then. So.
Yeah. Okay, can we talk about this next part that I'm really excited to talk about?
Oh, sure, I guess so.
Because Moraine tosses a pouch onto Rand's chest and says, "There is more." And then he sees the broken pieces of the seals. I just thought, okay, this makes sense. Maybe the seals weren't there in the room anymore when the crew was there to get the horn. Remember how I was like, the seals are right there, and they left them.
So you're thinking that Moraine and Lan probably
had already been there,
snuck into Lord Turk's place and got the seals out?
Somehow. Yeah. Well, how did she get them?
I don't know if she was there in the midst of chaos that was happening during the Battle of Falm. Then Turek was dead, and they could have swooped in and maybe got them somehow.
Maybe. But
okay.
How did they break?
That's a good question.
So, this is my note about how everyone's a suspect.
Is this what you were talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Moraine says, now there are 3 of the 7 seals that are broken.
Okay.
And I just went, how though? How though? So, is it skeptical that Moraine had the seals?
And now it's just like, oh no, they're broken.
And now, oh no, they're broken?
Okay. Or did she find them broken?
Or did she find them already broken?
Okay.
It's possible.
You're kind of hinting that Moraine took them and then broke them.
Yeah, I don't know how she
because she's like a bad guy.
Okay, refresh my memory about when they found the first seal. Were they all standing there and she unwrapped it and it was broken pieces? Or was she standing there with the broken pieces and then they found her?
That was the one that they took out of the...
Eye of the World.
Eye of the World, and it was already broken.
Okay, so Moraine did not break that one.
Probably not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because that was my other thing. I was like, well, she's been around with all 3 of these seals being broken.
Okay.
I gotta do my detective work.
Yeah. We do get some new information about this, though.
Yeah.
Because she says when all 7 seals are broken, and we've learned that before, perhaps even before that, the patch that men put over the hole they drilled into the prison the Creator made will be torn asunder, and the Dark One will once more be able to put his hand through that hole and touch the world.
Yeah.
And we've gotten a very, definitive, the hole that men drilled through the prison.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It seems like a very literal thing, but in a metaphorical way.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know. I don't actually want to suspect Moraine. If Fane managed to kill Huon, or whatever his name was...
Sure.
Maybe he managed to somehow also break those seals, maybe with the dagger or something.
Okay.
Because that dagger is pretty deadly.
Yeah, it does some freaky things.
Yeah, it's just supposed to be unbreakable, right?
It is supposed to be.
And now they're just all broken and we haven't found out
how or why or when or who, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so I'm just going to tuck that all back because we need to get to the end here.
Definitely.
So Rand says he needs a walk, and so he stands up with a bunch of difficulty, and now he really sees the melty sword laying on the ground, and he gives up all hope that he will ever discover that Tam is his real father, and it feels like he is tearing his heart out.
Poor Rand.
Yeah, but he still loves Tam and Emmonsfield. It's the only home he's ever known. But he has one duty now, and that is stopping Fane.
And this entire concept is a bad thing.
Yeah, he's a little obsessed.
He definitely is.
Yeah.
This is not your only duty. This is not the last thing you have to do.
No.
So, yeah.
No, he's a little misguided.
He is.
Right now, I think.
And stubborn.
Yeah, stubborn. But, so they go over now to where the campfires are, and Loyal is there, and I went, oh yeah, Loyal. And then Perrin is there, and I went, oh yeah, Perrin.
You always forget about Loyal and Perrin.
I know.
You keep doing that.
I know. And then the Shinerians are all there with Lan.
Yes.
Sharpening his sword.
We have a note about this.
Oh, we do? Okay.
Yeah, because, and it's not 100% confirmed because I don't have a copy of like a newer edition, but this sentence presumably got changed. Because it says in our books, Lan sat under a tree sharpening his sword. And that doesn't make a lot of sense because Lan has a power forged sword. So he wouldn't need to sharpen it.
Gotcha.
And apparently, this was changed to Lan was sharpening his dagger.
Okay.
Which would make a lot more sense.
Yes.
But I don't have a newer copy of the book, so I can't 100% confirm it. But I have heard that this line got changed.
Okay. Just for consistency.
Just for consistency.
Okay.
But Lan does give him like the look and the nod.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay. So this is where Rand notices that the dragon banner is just like out and rippling in the wind for everyone in the world to see. And Moraine says, "It's too late to hide now, dragon."
Yeah.
And
Ooh.
Rand's mad.
Is that worse if she is like an evil person?
Yes.
Like you've kind of thrown out that Moraine is like Black Aja here.
No,
so.
she's not. I can't get on board with it. And even if it does
it not feel right to you?
No. Even if it does one day happen to be a thing, I still won't like be okay with it.
Just like throw the book or something
Yeah,
against the wall?
I won't be okay with it.
Okay, all right.
It won't be surprising, but I won't be okay with it.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Rand's super mad, and Loyal's like, "Don't worry, man. I want to stay and be your friend." And
this is so funny, because like Loyal does this every like big adventure.
I know.
It's like, are we still friends, man?
Yeah. And Perrin says he will stay too. The wheel weaves us in a tight pattern. Okay, Perrin. Cool. So the Shinerians all gather around and kneel before Rand, and Uno says, "We pledge ourselves to you." And Rand's like, "No.
Yeah,
No,
this
you
is
don't.
huge.
No, you don't. You're pledged to Lord Algamar."
Nope.
Damn it.
You're so close.
Lord Agelmar.
You weren't actually that close.
Algamar.
What did I say?
I don't know what you say or how you say it, but you say it wrong every time.
Okay, so Rand says you are pledged to Lord Agelmar.
Yes.
That's the right word.
And Ingtar, but he died, but still Egelmar. So.
Yeah, but then he tells them that Ingtar died well, saving them. And Uno doesn't even really seem to care very much.
They clearly have like already figured this out probably, so.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And Uno says, "Okay, well, here's the thing. When the dragon is reborn, we break all of our oaths and give all of our new oaths to you."
Yeah. So
And
this is pretty big.
Yeah, even Massima, who hated Rand
Yep.
so much, says, "You battled the Dark One. I saw you, Lord Dragon.
What?
I am your man to death."
And his dark eyes shone with fervor.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
Whoa.
that's like, okay.
He's really into this.
Yeah.
And then Moraine says, "You must choose. The world will be broken whether you do it or not. The last battle will come. Will you hide from what you are and leave the world to face the last battle undefended? Choose."
Yeah.
And she probably points a finger in his face.
Probably does, I would assume.
And so they all watch him, waiting, and Rand thinks death is lighter than a feather, duty is heavier than a mountain, and he makes his decision.
So, what is his decision?
He's going to go back to Emmonsfield and resume being a sheep herder.
And hopefully Egwene will come back and marry him?
Yeah.
Okay. That's probably like a bad choice, man.
I really don't think there's going to be 12 more books about sheep herder Rand.
If there is, we're going to learn a lot about sheep herding.
Yeah.
And shearing sheep.
We've already learned a lot about that.
We have.
So I really hope not.
Yeah. So, but yeah, in all seriousness.
I think his decision is probably nothing that Moraine is telling him to choose.
Sure.
He probably makes his decision to go against what the Aes Sedai wants him to do.
Yeah.
Like, he's not going to leave the world undefended, but he's going to do his duty. And in his brain, his duty, he just told us, is finding Fane.
Okay, so what are you saying? Like,
That's
what's
what
his
I said.
next? What's his next step then?
I don't know.
Find Fane somehow?
Yeah.
Okay. Who may or may not be on a ship going towards Shanshan?
Yeah.
So there's
probably,
that.
Probably isn't. But
yeah.
But that's it. And then we get chapter 50.
Yeah. So this is pretty huge though, because when we're looking at these Shienaran soldiers, these are the first soldiers we've seen now who are like
pledging themselves
to the death to the Lord Dragon, which is like super cool to hear.
Yeah, that's a cool name.
Very cool.
Yeah, so whatever Rand's decision is, it's not what Moraine wants him to do. That's for
go to
sure.
Alien with the horn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they don't have the horn
They
anymore,
don't have
so
it.
yeah.
No, it went with Varen, right?
Yeah.
So, chapter 50 is titled After, and it is like half a page.
Yeah.
So, we get a little bit of a wrap-up.
Yeah, narrator perspective.
Yeah, so we just get tales of this crazy battle start traveling around the world. Men proclaim themselves for the dragon and strike men down or get struck down. Every time the tale is told, one thing does remain the same. A man had been seen in the sky above Falma, riding under the banner of the Dragon Reborn.
Yes. So...
And no false dragon talk.
There doesn't seem to be.
This is the real deal.
We're talking about like the giant portents of dragon fighting the dark one in the sky is what it sounds like.
Yes.
And all these other false dragons have been like, oh, some men who can channel, so people are like, oh, we'll follow you. And we've got some guys who can't channel, but are just saying they're the dragon, and they don't really have these signs. But like, this is a big one of like magical sky battle.
Especially anyone who is even remotely familiar with the prophecy about the dragon proclaiming himself above the Watchers in Tom and Het.
And we don't really know how like well known those prophecies are from the Cycles of the Dragon.
Right.
But it's like, this is a pretty big sign. You can't make up the whole sky battle, you know.
Well, and apparently the people who are telling these stories likely are like gleemen. And whatever. So Tom is a gleeman who is familiar with the dragon prophecies.
So they would like know.
It's likely that they would link it together for like a really great story.
And like these are
and
probably
then really being like, this is no false dragon. This is the Dragon Reborn.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning of this series, at the beginning of this book, all we heard about were false dragons proclaiming themselves. All these false dragons popping up everywhere. But this is the real deal.
Yeah, so the question is going to be like, is everyone thinking he's like the real deal? Is there still going to be the skepticism of, oh, is this the real dragon or just another, you know, false conqueror? Things like that. So
yeah, seems real deal.
It does seem that way, so.
And then we get a little bit of a prophecy or something.
Yeah, we don't really know. Because we've gotten this whole timeline thing.
From like the Fourth Age, but we don't know if that's
after or before.
Before.
Yeah, because we are in the Third Age from what we know.
Yeah.
So we don't really know how that stuff works.
If it like counts down or counts up. We haven't had an age talk since the Eye of the World, so.
Yeah. Or if it's just like a cyclical thing of like, this keeps getting spit out every Fourth Age, so.
Right.
Yeah.
I just think the most important part about it just says that let the dragon ride again on the winds of time.
Yes.
So it sounds more like a positive dragon prophecy rather than those negative ones where the dragon's
like
going to break the world again.
Men will cry and tears will fall from the sky.
And wish that their lives were their nightmares or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, because they talk about like, let the Prince of the Morning sing to the land, that green things will grow and the valleys give forth lambs. So that sounds very good.
Yeah, sounds good. And then we have the end, the second book of The Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
And we did it. We made it.
We did it, yeah. So how are you feeling about this book?
Feeling good. I liked it. It was exciting.
Now, we've talked a couple of times, but Book 3, The Dragon Reborn.
Yes.
Some overarching speculations about what's going to happen.
I don't know. This one was called The Great Hunt, and I thought that was pretty obvious that they were going to go on the Great Hunt for the Horn of Valier.
Yeah.
And that's essentially...
So would you...
Sort of was the overarching theme.
Yeah.
But for the Dragon Reborn...
Do you think it'll be like very Rand-centric, where it's like about Rand becoming the, you know, Dragon Reborn?
And believing it himself. And then I think it'll also be about, like, just big picture themes. It'll be about the world understanding that the dragon has been reborn and what that means, because we've already got lots of times, especially this book, that the world is stirring.
Yeah.
And so I think we're going to get more into that. We're going to get more in depth into this world that's stirring. The tales are going to spread across the world about this dragon who is reborn and what that means in each place. And I think that that's probably going to be like the acceptance of that.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be challenging, especially considering in places like the Two Rivers, where everyone was like, God, it's better to speak the Dark One's name than to talk about the dragon.
Yeah, it's like worse.
Right? So there's going to be, I think there's going to be a lot of challenges. Even if Rand does accept who he is and what his fate is, there's going to be places where it is not accepted and he's looked at as the Dark One.
Yeah, and that'll be a test, because we've gotten some excerpts from prophecies of what Rand's supposed to do. We've gotten the whole Tyr thing with the sword that is not a sword.
Oh, yeah, he definitely has to go do that with people of the dragon.
Yeah, we've got something about the Aiel, because you thought that he was he who comes with the dawn.
Yes.
So you thought that was Rand for sure.
Yeah.
We've got Matt hopefully being healed in the third book, because he's on his way to Tar Valon to be healed with a dagger.
Yeah, and I really want Perrin to acknowledge this wolfy power.
Yeah.
And just like full out.
Let's do it.
Wolf brother.
Yeah.
Probably not living in the woods by himself.
Like Elias.
Yeah.
Probably not that, but
I'm concerned that all of the White Cloaks are going to have a nationwide manhunt for Perrin, the Dark Friend.
Well, we've got Bayer, who's probably going to go be a dick about it.
Yeah, and Dane Bornholt, who's already had run-ins with Rand.
Yep, he has.
And I don't think he has a short memory, so...
Probably not for people who slight him.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Hopefully lots of stuff happens
in
the
Dragon Reborn. Yeah, and we'll talk about that, because I'm going to go... I get to start The Dragon Reborn.
Yeah.
And we're just going to cover...
The prologue.
Yeah,
we're going to
And then we'll get into some maybe more specific character-driven predictions.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Okay.
Once we come across them, so...
Yeah. So I think we can say that the wheel weaves as the wheel wills, and this book is now part of the pattern.
Yeah, part of the pattern.
Thank you for listening to this episode. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, edited by Dani, produced by Dani and Brett with Dustin Schluter, Derek Benton, Benjamin, Joe Lott, Kyle Smith, Passion Socks, Multude, and Mozyme. Music by Audionautics.com. If you'd like bonus content, like bonus episodes, outtakes, Q&As, more fun Wheel of Time talk, early access, cool stickers and keychains, and also to support us making great content, visit us at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Twitter at The Wheel Weaves Podcast. We love interacting with our listeners. Plus, don't forget to rate, subscribe, and tell a friend about us, because referrals really are the best compliment. We'd really love for you to come over and join our Discord channel for some spoiler or spoiler-free discussions. You can find the links at our Twitter page as well as on our Patreon page. Thanks again for tuning in, because this really is part of the pattern now.